So I am at a 27-hole facility, golf course facility. This is my first season there. I am 20 years in the industry. I started my career here in Alberta. I attended Olds College in 2006 in their turf program, and then I moved out to Ontario and worked at a bunch of high-end private courses out there, and I moved back this following year to Alberta. Definitely a few challenges, one being, as most any sort of company, is the economic side of it, the financial side of it. Prices of fertilizer in particular have gone astronomical, prices of equipment, prices of fuel, labor costs. So anywhere that a manager can save some money is going to be very beneficial to the operation. Opportunities is definitely to change a mindset that a lot of the public have. I was going to say that one of our challenges is we are very highly scrutinized, that we use a lot of chemicals and a lot of synthetic fertilizers. And there is a shift going on that it's back to the basics and learning more about our soil and feeding our soil than actually feeding the plant. So I think this is a great opportunity to change a lot of minds, educate a lot of people, and be very environmentally conscious. There was a definite lack of people, and I believe we're still in a drought for sure. It is definitely something that people don't think of to get into a career, and my story is very similar to a lot of people in the industry. Is I needed a summer job. I was going to school for kinesiology originally, and I just wanted to work outside. I love being outside, working with my hands, and I spent a summer out at the golf course, and I couldn't believe they were paying me for this. I get to work out, get a tan, meet some new people, have a lot of laughs, and a couple years later I just decided, you know what, this is what I want to do. Yes, I'm very optimistic of the future. There is definitely a lot of technology coming forward that is allowing us to reduce our inputs, reduce our fertilizer costs, reduce our chemical costs, get down to a ground level, actually, like what is under the ground and what's going on, so managers can tailor their approach as to what needs to be done on limited budgets, small scales, and save money and help the environment. We can educate the upcoming generation and expose them to this type of field. I really believe that if we expose them to a lot of the technology that's available, like drones, autonomous cutting machines, the generation now is very technology driven, and I think introducing them to stuff like that would be very beneficial and get them very interested in the industry. Soil health, as a pun, is the root of it all. And if you don't have a healthy soil, you do not have a healthy plant. And I've come in the last probably 5-6 years to really learn about the whole symbiotic nature that the soil food web has, that they refer to it as. And if you mess with that cycle, you're going to have challenges, and it's going to cost you money, time, effort, labor, this and that. And we really need to kind of get back to the basics of it. And if you don't have a healthy soil, your plant's not going to be healthy. And you can feed it all the fertilizer in the world that you want, and it may look good, but it's the exact same as if a human being just eats McDonald's all the time. On the outside, they look like a human being, they look like they're okay, but on the inside, it's not a good situation. And it's the same with the turf, that if you don't have healthy soil, that your plant, as soon as you take that fertilizer away, it's going to suffer. The way I look at soil health and how it's changed me is changes my perspective on everything. It's made me look at my own health in particular, and what I'm putting into my body, and how my microorganisms work with me, is how they work in the soil, and that whole just being healthy. And you may not see it every day, and it's an ongoing process. It's unfortunately, our society wants the quick fix, and we can't always have that quick fix. It's not good in the long run, and it's not going to give us the the outcome that we desire. So as I said before, Black Earth does fit into my program. I also actually own my own company doing residential and commercial lawns. And I've put it into my program this year, and I encourage a lot of my clients to, take on this program. It's unconventional to them. And I say it's not going to happen in a year, but by year 2, you're going to see a lot of change. And a lot of these commercial properties that usually don't have irrigation and have just literally been pounded with fertilizer over the years, I said it is hard as a rock. And this stuff is going to help aerate that and give it some structure. And then your turf is going to thrive. So currently I'm using the product Humalite AG4. I have looked at a lot of the products on the site, and I do next year have the intention to integrate some of the foliar products into my program, and I believe that that's just going to give me that added boost that I can say confidently to my clients that instead of 2 years or 3 years, this will be happening within a year and a half. You'll get the results. So as far as moisture retention, it helps deflocculate a lot of the particles in the soil, creating those air channels that allow nutrients, water to get down into that profile and essentially giving you a new profile of soil. And so when you actually do give it some nutrients, and it can actually go out and mine the nutrients that are already there in the soil. And that's what I find these products. Mother Nature gave us an operating system, and we have messed with it with synthetic types of chemicals and fertilizers for years. She's just like, the stuff's there. You can get it out of the ground. You just gotta wait patiently and use the right stuff. So some of the visual results I've seen using these products is, it's hard to describe, to be honest with you, in the turf industry. I've been in it a long time, that I do have that eye to see the difference. I don't think that the normal person would overly see it, but from like a high-end private club aspect, the golfers are just going to be, oh my gosh, look at these things. They look, that's all they care about, is how they look. And the one course I was at where we used it for a while was, by year 3, even my boss, veteran, we both were standing there, and it just has this shine that you see on TV that you want, and there's no filters, there's nothing. And the amount of water we were able to save, the amount of chemical we were able to save, and even we had a seasoned agronomist that we would do soil testing with. And he says, your guys' levels of everything are just absolutely perfect. He says, I'm not very familiar with a lot of these products, but whatever you're doing, keep doing it. How I would calculate the ROI on the product would be, it is the cost per 50 pounds of product right now versus 50 pounds of, say, synthetic fertilizer, is the difference is astronomical. And when I say that Black Earth is much more cost effective, and it's not that you're going to end up having to use more of it, so it evens out. It just works into your program, and that's where you're going to see the savings. So you can take out a fertilizer application, and once that soil gets back to its cycle, you don't need that fertilizer. So at the end of the day, your fertilizer cost may be, for turf at a high-end private club, like $500,000, you're going to see that drop substantially, I'd say, in 3 years. Currently, I love that you guys are local. Alberta, this is my home, and I'm so glad to be home, and that was the main thing that I was searching out for humic products. And we were getting them from overseas and this and that, and with everything going on, shipping costs, shipping delays, it's local, it's contributing back to the economy, and I believe that it is a superior product. To work with Black Earth as a company has been absolutely amazing. My sales rep, Caitlin, has been nothing but standout, top shelf. I am not the biggest client. I would probably go to say I'm one of the smallest, if not the smallest client. And I have been treated exactly how a big company with a big budget, I'm not put to the side. Emails are answered, phone calls are answered, products delivered right to my house. That is what sets this company for sure apart.